Welcome back, you sleepless souls, to part 2 of our journey into the depths of nocturnal terror. If you're just joining us, you might want to check out part 1 first. For those of you who've been here since the beginning, let's dive back into the darkness. I spun around that night, my heart pounding like a drum in my chest. But there was nothing there. Just empty air and the sound of my own ragged breathing. Since then, I can't shake this feeling. This constant gnawing sensation that something is always right behind me. I should have thrown that cursed baby monitor away. But the thought of silence, it terrifies me even more. The paranoia grew, day by day, night by sleepless night. I found myself constantly looking over my shoulder, jumping at every creak and groan of the house. The monitor became both my lifeline and my tormentor. I couldn't bear to turn it off, but every static-filled whisper sent chills down my spine. Desperate for answers, for proof that I wasn't losing my mind, I started recording the sounds. Hours upon hours of static filled my laptop's hard drive. I ran it through every audio software I could find, watching the frequency visualizers like a doctor monitoring a patient's vital signs. And then, buried deep within the noise, I found it. A pattern. It was subtle at first, almost imperceptible. But as I isolated it, cleaned up the audio, it became clearer. This wasn't random noise. It was rhythmic, almost purposeful. My hands shook as I slowed down the recording, my stomach twisting into knots. What I heard next, it still haunts me. Screaming. Human screaming, but played backwards. Voices distorted and warped, but unmistakably filled with terror and pain. I slammed my laptop shut, but the sounds echoed in my mind, impossible to unhear. After that night, everything changed. The voices, they became bolder. No longer content with whispers and static, they seemed to grow, aware. It was as if they knew I had discovered their secret, and now they were done hiding. The coffee won't help. I heard clearly one night as I staggered to the kitchen at 2 a.m., desperate for caffeine to keep me awake. I froze, the mug slipping from my trembling fingers and shattering on the floor. She sleeps so soundly. Another voice cooed as I peeked into the nursery, checking on my daughter for the 100th time that night. I slammed the door shut, my back pressed against it as I struggled to breathe. They weren't just in the monitor anymore. They were in my home, in my life, watching, waiting, for what I didn't know. And that uncertainty was the most terrifying thing of all. Nights blurred together, a haze of fear and exhaustion. I stopped sleeping, stopped eating. My husband grew worried, suggesting therapy, medication. But how could I explain? How could I make him understand the voices that whispered in the dark, the eyes I felt watching me even when I was alone? Then came the night when my fear finally broke me. I couldn't take it anymore, this constant state of terror and uncertainty. I leaned into the monitor, my lips almost touching the cold plastic as I whispered into the static, "What are you?" For a long, suffocating moment, there was only silence. The kind of silence that feels heavy, oppressive. Then slowly the noise began to thin, and in a voice as clear as my own it answered, "We are the static between worlds, and you have opened a door." The video feed on the monitor warped and twisted. For a heartbeat, I saw something impossible. My own face, peaceful in sleep, filmed from above my bed, a perspective that shouldn't exist. I stumbled back, my scream caught in my throat. The image flickered and vanished, replaced once more by innocent static. But I knew what I had seen. I knew that whatever barrier had existed between our world and something else was crumbling. As I stand here now recording this, I can feel them, getting closer, growing stronger. The door is open and I don't know how to close it. But this isn't the end of our story, dear viewers. There's more to come, more secrets to uncover in the static between worlds. So stay tuned for the 3rd and final part of our series. And remember, sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we invite into our homes. Until next time, sleep tight, if you can.